every time you screen record, you have to go through this ad. And here's the ads. It's fucking amazing. Bigo, Bigo!
It's not to say, but if you only
Bigo, Bigo.
See how they advertise Bigo? And then you go in the App Store and it's all kid-friendly, kid colors, with all the kids' apps. See that? That's what it's advertised as. Now let me show you something. As soon as you open it up, what do you see? What do you see, folks? But you saw they advertised it, right? Isn't that interesting? Oh, you got all the gamers. You get your gamers onto here. Get the gamers on here so when they get on here, they could go to popular. They could go to chat. Then, they could go to virtual and become no longer human. It's fucking amazing. Match, meet. Look at this shit. It's truly remarkable. Oh, Pride 365. Let's see what they're doing.
I'm finna give y'all a gun. Can y'all keep in mind?
My friend needs to take some.
Let me go. Smoking once, but I like it right.
It's fucking insane. And if you pay attention, everything's linked. You got your Instagram,
I'm your big sister.
your Snapchat, your Twitter, they're all linked to capture everybody. This way you stay on the screen and you never know what's going on in the real world. Because the only way to make money through this app is you have to have X amount of hours screen time. Tasks. It's fucking amazing. All over the world. And then look at when you put it as a widget on your screen, that's what comes up. But you saw what it was advertised as, right? It's fucking amazing. And then here's the other advertisements.
arcade-style slots game with super high payouts. You can hit a jackpot within 10 spins and easily hit 10 jackpots within 5 minutes. If you're lucky, you can win a jackpot of 10 trillion in as soon as 15 minutes, which means you can win more jackpots by playing this game for an hour than playing any other slots game for an entire week. Click below this video. Trust me, the next jackpot will be yours.
Claim 3 million free coins.
Anything to keep them on the screen. Now, let's take a look at something here. So when did Bigo Live launch? March 12, 2016. Our Bigo Live, this popular live video blogging app, is filled with... Let's look at this one. March 20th, 2019. One of China's top live streaming companies, YY, bought a stake and obtained the right to purchase a majority share in Bigo last June. Now the other shoe has dropped after YY fully acquired the Singapore-based startup behind live streaming app Bigo Live and short video service like. Becoming increasingly popular. This was updated November 21st, 2017. Initially launched March 2016, became the most popular app and ranked number 1 in Apple App Store and Google Play in Thailand market since launch. Bigo Live, however, in India, the application has become a platform for content with mostly men flocking to live stream windows of women responding to their comments and video calls. A quick glance at the application shows multiple thumbnails featuring objectionable women, images of women. While some of the live streams are harmless, ones of women or men dancing or doing random things, some feature women making innuendos and lewd gestures. At the bottom of the live stream screen, you'll notice a flurry of messages asking the women to perform certain activities or respond to their messages, similar to the comments on a live video on Facebook. I open a live stream of a vlogger called Tanu, who could be seen lying in bed in her nightgown, the camera mostly focused on her breast. Screen displayed a phone number where she demanded the transfer of a certain amount of money in her pay TM account, after which would make a WhatsApp video call to the person concerned. In one of the other live streams, I saw 2 people in short windows on the side hurling choice abuses at each other in Hindi on a live video call. Surprisingly, the live stream screen pops up with a message that says, "Be polite and respectful. Any display of smoking, vulgarity, pornography, and nudity is prohibited." Nudity is prohibited on Bigo Live. The account violators will be banned. Moderators inspect the content 24 hours a day, but the moderators seem to be asleep, given the borderline pornography widely prevalent in the application. On YouTube, a quick search Bigo Live Girls displays a number of results claiming to be screen recordings of live streams. As it go, see everything that pops up live, see everything that's popping up, and then add girls, GI, you got GIFs. Once you put the R, the L, and the S, nothing pops up. Let's press search. Bigo, Russian, and girls. Children. 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 On YouTube, by the way. But nobody seems to notice, and nobody seems to care. But if you just do Bigo Live, what do you know? So when you put in girls, the suggestion, nothing comes up. Once you add the R, but just type in Bigo Live. And what do you see? It's fucking amazing, people. These are children. As expected, the results are mostly of women with captions such as "Hot Girl Bigo Live 88" and "Bigo Live Girl Nipple Showing 18+." Bypassing Google guidelines, this listing on Apple's App Store, however, clearly mentions that the app has infrequent mild sexual content and nudity, infrequent mild realistic violence, frequent intense mature suggestive themes. Google Play Store, which has much larger presence in indie, just rates the app as a 12 plus parental guidance. 12 plus. Google's 12 plus rating means violence involving fantasy characters in or non-graphic violence involving human-looking characters or animals is permitted. Non-graphic nudity, mild language, simulated gambling are also permitted, but sexual explicitives are not. Google clearly mentions on its policy website for an app developer that it doesn't allow apps that contain promote sexually explicit content, such as pornography. In general, we don't allow content or services intended to be sexually gratifying. Here are some examples of common violation. Depictions of sex acts or sexually suggestive poses, promotional images of sex toys, promoting sexually explicit user-generated content, content that depicts, describes, encourages bestiality, apps that promote escort services or other services that may be interpreted as providing sexual acts in the exchange for compensation. Bigo, Russian, and girls. Children. It's fucking amazing that people don't see this. So let's go further. And what happens to my YouTube account? What's it say? Well, basically, to help keep our community safe, we limit some of our power features to this channel, who have either built and maintained a positive channel or have provided verification. We notice some of your recent activity might not follow our rules. Your channel has lost access to the advanced features. How this impacts your channel: you won't be able to do things like get higher daily limits for live streams, shorts, video uploads, and embedded live streams, pin comments, add external links to your video description. How to restore: build positive channel history by following our community guidelines. Yet the email before that was try increase your stitchness, a stronger comment moderation setting, multiple formats to help you grow and fit your style, creator tips from the Black Voices Fund, make more content with less effort, creator on the rise. Gabby Golf Girl is a young golfer who uses her channel included skilled videos. So basically, what they did was tell me how to do my channel in one email. In the very next email, they decided to censor my channel because I'm talking about these things. So let that sink in. Everything I just read you in the guidelines and just showed you is up. And when I point it out, mine gets taken down. How does that even make sense in your brain? So let's go even further. Let me point something out to you. Bigo launched 2016. When do you think TikTok launched? When did TikTok launch? TikTok, also known as home market, by September 2016. Well, what do you know? What do you know? March 12th, 2016. Let's go look at when did Telegram. 2013 is when Telegram launched. And by the way, TikTok video removed misinformation in the global community. It is natural for people to have different opinions, but we seek to operate on a shared set of facts and reality. we do not allow inaccurate, misleading, or false content that may cause significant harm to individuals or society, regardless of intent. Significant harm includes physical, psychological, or social harm and property damage. See community guidelines. That was my TikTok video, speaking on the facts, showing you the facts that got removed. And crazy mechanic I speak with. So why am I bringing up Telegram? Well, do you see it advertised anywhere? When did Snapchat launch? 2011. When did Facebook launch? 2004. When did Twitter launch? In 2006. So, I got Bigo at March 12, 2016. And we got TikTok at September 2016. Do you see the correlation? Do you see the correlation here? What happened in the lockdown? What was everybody doing? They were on TikTok. Profiles. They're all linked. Everything. Got another one for you. Discord. (2015). Twitch. 2011. What's the other one? WhatsApp was 2009. So, what's my point here? My point is, when it's in the Play Store and it's advertised towards children, and using all the, when you search for these things, colors, Tango live stream, it's under the karaoke songs, Finch self-care pet, and look at all the apps together. Microsoft Teams, YouTube Kids, Instagram. They're all working together. That's my point. And they're molding. They're molding something now. What are they molding? Well, let's just go to Twitter and see. If I do a little search for Miss B Nasty, what do you see? There you go. Twitter is now full-blown porn. It's been for a while. Now look at, you got your gamers, your live streamers, because they're all live streaming now. As a matter of fact, let's go to Twitch. What do you know? And all the apps are linked. Probably your favorite comedian and waterbender. IYKYK, I'm healing my inner child with playing video games. I love to chat with my fans and share more of my outside of what I do for work. Let's keep the chat clean. Amazing. Asking to keep the chat clean. Now listen, I got no problem with it. It's a free country, you do what you want. My problem is targeting the kids. Manipulation. Coercion. Look it. I remember once upon a time there was this thing called false advertising. People used to get sued for it. Clearly, nobody cares to do that anymore. Whether it's a vaccine, whether it's a Bud Light commercial. I remember a time where somebody had to write on a coffee cup, contents may be hot, because they got sued. The New Jersey one was $2.86 million. So, Dunkin' Donuts coffee lawsuit. Dunkin' Donuts sued by woman alleging severe burns from spilled. May 18th, 2022. This isn't the first time Dunkin' Donuts has been sued by a customer over coffee-related burns. In April 2021, a man filed a lawsuit after he was allegedly left severely burned by a spilled hot cup of coffee. Unlike other cases involving liquid burns, the woman did not have a problem with how the coffee was served or packaged, but instead claimed that Dunkin' Donuts location didn't maintain its property adequately. You see, it's quite clear that everybody does not want to pay attention to things that are right in front of their faces. So let's just ponder this for a moment. If I'm literally giving you data, facts, I say something and then put it in the video, look it up, point it out, and my video, after I upload it, will be censored and taken down for community guidelines. Yet, the community guidelines I just read you and showed you with data, with facts, with the searches, are allowed to stay up. And anybody pointing it out will be censored. What does that actually mean? Let's ponder this. Do you actually think that all the politicians, all the news people, you think they can't do what I just did? All the people that own these platforms, you think they have no clue about any of this? Think about this, people, seriously. All the new news people, all the people you're about to vote for, all the ones that got you distracted, you honestly want to believe that they don't realize people get sued for hot coffee and legit shit, and nobody's talking about this. Nobody's talking about false advertising. Nobody's talking about the manipulation. Nobody's talking about everything that is a fact right in front of your face. Anybody could look it up. But they just refuse to bring it up. And if anybody brings it up, they're censored. And then the rubber band effect happens. And everybody goes back to the distractions, to the political shit, to this, that, and the other thing. Anything that has to do with the apocalypse and the Great Reset. Yet you're supposed to have these tools with these rules, and nobody's talking about it or doing it. Why? Why do you honestly believe that nobody wants to do anything about it? As if it's not a fact. As if it's okay to just ignore it. Like, wrap your brain around what I just showed you. I just showed you the community guidelines and all the data. Yet this very video I will upload and it will be censored. It will be ignored. It will be kicked to the bottom. Anybody tagged in it won't acknowledge it. They'll never see it. And nobody's talking about it. The very few that hear this, that even agree with it, won't even talk about it. Won't bring it up. And I could tag all the big names. Why is that? How could that be? There's a very good answer. There's a very good reason. But nobody cares to look. Millions of dollars. Because a hot coffee was ordered. Somebody got burned. A human being ordered a hot coffee. An adult human. And they got millions of dollars. Because the coffee didn't say it was hot. So, you have lots of things going on in the world right now where people are telling you one thing and then you're finding out it's not true. People being fired, losing their jobs, losing their careers, losing their houses, losing everything. All because of somebody saying something that ends up not being true. What do you think happens if nobody does their due diligence to hold those people accountable? Like the coffee lady. What do you think happens if everybody just goes along and ignores it? Do you honestly think that a politician or a Donald Trump or whoever your political theater puppets, you really think they're going to be able to change any of this direction we're going here? Any of these private companies? You really think you're going to have some kind of ability to change what's being shown on the screen when you're not around? It doesn't matter what you teach your kids. The majority of the time, you're not with them. And everybody else has a cell phone, even if you take it away. These things are called influence. And the introduction of follows and likes and shares and dopamine, and they're literally designed.
The way they get that attention is by influencing you and using these dark patterns or tricks to do it. So the way they do it with children is they say, how many likes or followers do you have? So they basically get children addicted to getting attention from other people. They use filters, likes, etc., beautification filters that enhance their self-image. And after 2 decades in decline, the mental health of teen girls, high depressive symptoms, there's an image here that they'll be able to show, went up 170%.
By definition, created purposefully to do this.
I'm going to go off script. I come here because I'm incredibly concerned. I actually have a lifelong experience with deception and how technology influences people's minds. I was a magician as a kid, so I started off by seeing the world this way. And then I studied at a lab called the Stanford Persuasive Technology Lab, actually with the founders of Instagram. And so I know the culture of the people who build these products and the way that it's designed intentionally for mass deception. And if someone went along, private companies, and built nuclear power plants, and all across the United States, and they started melting down, and they said, well, it's your responsibility to have hazmat suits and build, have a radiation kit. That's essentially what we're experiencing now. The responsibility is being put on consumers, when in fact, if it's the infrastructure, it should be put on the people building that infrastructure. There's specifically 2 areas of harm I want to focus on, even though when this becomes the infrastructure, it controls all of our lives. So we wake up with these devices, we check our phones 150 times a day. It's the infrastructure for going to bed. Children spend as much time on these devices as they do at the hours of school. So no matter what you're putting in people's brains, kids' brains at school, you've got all the hours they spend in their phones. And let's take the kids issue. So as infrastructure, this is not, the business model of this infrastructure is not aligned with the fabric of society. How much have you paid for your Facebook account recently? Or your YouTube account? 0. How are they worth more than $1 trillion in market value? They monetize our attention. The way they get that attention is by influencing you and using these dark patterns or tricks to do it. So the way they do it with children is they say, how many likes or followers do you have? So they basically get children addicted to getting attention from other people. They use filters, likes, et cetera, beautification filters that enhance your self-image. And after 2 decades in decline, the mental health of teen girls, high depressive symptoms, there's an image here that they'll be able to show, went up 170% after the year 2010 with the rise of Instagram, et cetera. Okay? These are your children, these are your constituents. This is a real issue. It's because we're hacking the self-image of children. On the information ecology front, the business model, think of it like we're drinking from the Flint water supply of information. This is the business model is polarization, because the whole point is I have to figure out and calculate whatever keeps your attention, which means affirmation, not information.
No matter what you teach your kids, the majority of the time, you're not with them. And everybody else has a cell phone, even if you take it away. These things are called influence. And the introduction of follows and likes and shares and dopamine, and they're literally designed, and nobody's being held accountable. Because the only way it's going to change is when people wake up and decide to say no. We're not allowing this anymore. We're not allowing a third party to make decisions for us. And we're not going to ask a third party permission. Kind of like people were doing when they were asking a third party permission not to be raped. What do I mean by that? Well, if you look at the definition of rape, and penetration of a foreign object or physical object or fluid, and the woman says no, or the man says no, they don't want to be raped, can the abuser go get a letter from a nurse, doctor, or a priest to override that no? Of course not. That would be illogical, immoral, and definitely unconstitutional, but common sense tells you you shouldn't be asking a third party permission. You shouldn't be giving a third party permission to make decisions for you in a free country. So now ask yourself, why were you asking a third party permission not to be raped, jabbed, raped, physically, mentally, spiritually? Think about that. And now, how they're doing it to your children, and coming right out in the open and telling you. See, if you go follow Tristan Harris and realize that there's a company called the Center for Humane Technology. Imagine that, the Center for Humane Technology. What is the definition of humane? Isn't that wild? We have a Center for Humane Technology, and yet nobody's telling you about it in the news, on your television, on your advertisements, on your Facebook feed, on your Instagram feed, on your Twitter feed, on all your podcasts. As a matter of fact, Tristan was interviewed 3 years ago in Congress, and you didn't hear anything about it. And then again, a few months back, and you didn't hear anything about it. Nobody brought it to your attention. Well, you might want to just go look that up, and that, when he testified to Congress, and ask yourself, well, if they know that, and they're not showing you that, they're only showing you everything else to distract you, everything else to keep you away from that. Why would that be? Why is nobody talking about it? Oh, because it probably wouldn't be good for marketing, and profit margins, and stock shares. And the people that own it don't want to get them mad, because then we won't have our powerful positions to write down the rules for the peasants. You know, because the peasants gave their power to the people seeking power, and now they think that they work for them, yet they go to a job every day and the boss pays them, but the boss makes the rules. Yet they sit here and think politicians somehow work for them because they pay them. The peasants pay the politician, but the politician makes the rules. So who's working for who? It's kind of clear. It's kind of obvious. But they don't see that. For some reason, they're blinded. It's probably because of the Prussian model, but that's a whole nother topic. Don't want to get into. But I just thought I'd bring this to your attention. Let you ponder it. Maybe open your mind to the bigger picture here. And take some action by alerting and informing and arousing the people in your community to the problem. Because that's the only way it changes. When people become aware, and when people take the time out of their day to make others aware, and then join forces and actually do something about it, instead of just falling into the trap that's been built by design to capture them, literally to keep them on the screen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and distracted and emotional, so their logic shuts off and they can't think properly. It's truly amazing.
This country and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flag.